Hey guys, it's Rachel at From Moments to Milestones, and we have our Christmas tag kit featuring the Echo Park 6x6 Baking Spirits Bright paper pad. This is an adorable paper pad, all things cookies and baking and gingerbread. So we are going to make 8 tags today. This one is a gift card holder, so that slides in there. Season's greetings, have a sweet holiday, Mrs. Claus's Bake Shop. This one is also a gift card holder, so you can slide something in there. Let it snow, and sending peace, love, and cookies this holiday season. So if you get a kit, as always, you get pictures of every tag, written instructions, and then a list of the supplies I used to create the kits in the back. So we are going to jump in with these sweet little gingerbread boy and girl, and these are dancing. I don't know if you can see that. They sway. It's kind of hard. You got to shake them like this, but when you shake them, their little bodies dance. So we're going to start with that one. Get out our kit. Let's see if there's something to dump all my die cuts in, because this one has a lot. Alright. So the first thing we are going to do on every single tag is we are going to trim it down to a 6-inch tag. I think it's like 6 1/4. And since we're working with this 6x6 pad, that can cause a little bit of headache trying to stretch that paper, especially when there's a hole in the middle of it. So we're just going to cut off 1/4 inch from every tag before we start. So that's my first step. And then it is up to you. These tags come with these red reinforcement things on there. You can keep them on there. They can be a little easy to remove if you don't want the bulk of it. So sometimes I'll go in there and just pull them off of the ones. I'm going to leave it on the back, but I'm going to pull it off so my paper sticks nice. And so I'm going to go ahead and put that plaid paper onto the tag. And you can use wet glue, whatever you want to do. I'm just going to go around the outside. I like to just flip my paper over and put my tag. I'm going to line it up on the bottom. It's going to be a little long on either side. And on the top. And so now you're going to take, you can either put it in your trimmer or use your scissors, and you're going to trim the excess. And I could certainly try to cut those papers to fit, but you know, sometimes you trim it a little off and I want it to be fully covered. So I feel like that's the best route for that. And then what you're going to need to do is flip it over, and we're going to re-punch that hole in your tag. So just a simple paper punch like this will work. I also, it's a little bit bigger, the hole itself. So I have this We Are Memories We Are hole punch. Has 5 different sizes. I'm going to use the 1/4 inch. I'm going to punch it in there, and now I have that hole there, and I'm going to go ahead and look for my reinforcement circle, and I'm going to put that down. So some glue around the edge. Alright, so our tag is ready. I'm going to set that off to the side, and we're going to need our vellum here eventually, but let's put together our gingerbread. There's lots of pieces. So you should have 2 bodies and 2 heads. And so the first thing you want to do is they're kind of looking, one's looking this way and one's looking that way, and their bodies are also facing that direction. So you don't really want to have him looking this way but his body's going that way. I mean, you could, I guess, but I want them matching. So this one, he's got squinty eyes and he's facing towards the right, and this one's towards the left. So I'm going to keep them like that. This one on the left is going to be the girl, and this is going to be the boy. So if you want, you can add some ink. I don't think you have to, but I'm going to add just a little, just around the edges. And it's really the only thing I'm going to do is the gingerbread body itself. There won't be any other inking. And I am using ground espresso distress ink, but any brown would do. All right, and then the other thing I'm going to do is you have these 2 scraps of that same color tan, and I am going to, they're going to go behind the face. So I'm going to put ink over the whole surface just so it's slightly darker. Okay. And that is all the inking we're going to do. Let me just clean that up. All right. All right, so let's put our bodies here again, and then we are going to put those faces behind. But first, if you'll notice, they have pink cheeks. So I'm going to flip it over, and I'm just going to put these little bits right over their cheeks. So I gave you plenty of pink. You're just going to need some little squares. I'm going to cut 4. And I'm going to glue those in. Just over the cheeks. You don't want it where the eyes or the mouth are. Do the same thing on the back of this one. And then we're going to go ahead and glue that other scrap so that it goes behind his eyes and mouth. Oops. And if they're too big, you can always trim them down. Those seem to fit just right. So now when you turn his little face around, he's got dark eyes and, oops, I shouldn't have smeared that glue, and pink cheeks. You may want to wait until your ink is dry before you do that. I just smeared his face, but that's all right. All right, so that part is done. So now we're going to focus on the girl here for a second. So she has a little dress. So we're going to glue that on. Just like so. And let me find some tweezers, lots of little pieces. And then we're going to get out the frosting for her. So you're going to have these squiggly pieces here, and these are the trim for her dress. So there's 2 skinny, longer ones. Those are going to go on her dress like that. And then you should have 4 of these, And these are going to go on her legs, and actually those will go on the boy as well, so he'll get the same. And then there's smaller ones that kind of look like S's, and those are for the arms, and you should also have 4 of those, 1, 2 for each. All right, so that's what we're going to do. I'm going to glue those down. I'm going to put glue on my hand because these are very small. Just dip it in there. There's that. Let's put her little frosting on her arms. Oops, that's sticking to me. All right, so we got all of the glitter on, or the glitter, the frosting on to our little girl, except for, oops, I just realized I forgot about the piece that is for her head. So she has frosting on her head, so let's add that. Oh my gosh, let's stay over there. I'm just going to line that up. Okay, and then she has a bow. So we're going to just put that. I did not pop it up or anything. We're just going to glue the little bow on the top of her head. And then you have this glittery, puffy rhinestone. I don't even know what you want to call it, but I think I just pulled the adhesive off of mine, so I'm going to have to use glue. Yours should have adhesive, but there it is. So she is all set. And now let's work on the boy. So he's going to wear a scarf. So these are the base pieces of the scarf. And then he's got lots of little stripe pieces. So maybe let's get some of the stuff out of the way that we know what it is. So this, you also have a hat. You have the trim of the hat, and then like the top, the little pom-pom. And then we have his frosting. So let's go ahead and add those. His little, that is dry, so we need some more. So there's one. I think I have ink on my finger. I keep getting everything dirty. I'm going to wash my hands up quick. All right. Okay, and then what do I do with my tweezers? There they are. Let's put the bottom frosting on. Okay. And then what we have left are all these stripe pieces. So you have this thicker one, and there are lines on Not sure if you can tell. Let me hold it up where maybe it'll focus. There are debossed or embossed lines on the scarf to help you line it up. So this piece is going to go in the center of the scarf. Just like so. And then there's these two like crescent pieces, and those are going to go like so. There's the other one. Alright, so there's that. And then here you've got these two circular pieces, and they're going to fit on the ends, which you don't really see, but we're going to put those on. And then there is a stripe and the edge. So the edge has those little lines on them. A little more glue. Just put those on the edge. Where did my other scarf piece go? I don't know. Oh my goodness, it's right there. It flipped over and it's green. Okay, let's put the other bottom on. Okay, and then these stripes. Put some glue on there. And there's one. Those pieces also have the debossed lines. If you can't tell where it goes, you can look there, but there's the scarf. And let's glue these pieces down for the hat. And then we got his little pom-pom. All right, so let's go ahead and put the scarf onto our little gingerbread man. So we got those two pieces, and they're going to kind of glue together like that. So I'm just going to put glue right here on the top of one. And just like that. And then there is, that's going to go underneath all of that. So put some more glue, top of that. And let's get our little scarf where we want it. It's going to be kind of hanging off like so. And then it goes with the straight edge on top. Just like that. And I'm going to, because there's several layers of, I'm going to clamp that together, and then I'm going to go ahead and put on his hat. So some adhesive there. This little hat on. Alright, so our little people are ready to go. So now we are going to bring over our vellum. I'm just going to clean up. I can see glue, so nothing sticks to the vellum and leaves funny marks. Okay. So we're going to build on top of our vellum so that we can flip it over, put adhesive on, and then stick it onto our tag so we can hide it. So what we're going to do is you have these two, they kind of look like baby rattles to me. And we're going to glue them on the back of the bodies so that the ring sticks up on the top like that. same thing here. So just adhesive on that part. Oh, I didn't put it. Apparently I only glued the two pieces together. I did not glue it on to the body. That's okay. So just like that. I'll try this part again. Which totally makes sense. I did not put glue on that. Alright. And then we also have our Merry Wishes, and there should be, where did he go? I had a little red heart. I saw it earlier. And now it's gone. There should be a little red heart, and that's going to go right at the bottom of your Merry Wishes. I don't know what happened to mine. It was in there earlier. That's okay. But you can see it goes right there. And then I did realize that I forgot her little buttons on her dress. So let's go ahead and put those on real quick. So there's one. And two. All right. So I'm going to get out some foam. I have some foam circles. A foam square will also work too. These happen to just fit perfectly inside that ring, but a foam square works just the same. And I moved my buttons. Okay. So here's what we're going to do. We also want to leave room for this. We're going to use this as a guide. That's going to go about right in there. And then we're going to space them out the way we want them. The heads are going to go on top of those rings. So that's where we want them. I'm going to take foam, put it inside that ring, pull off the backing, and place the head. And now her little body is freestanding, or is dancing. Okay, so then he's going to go on like so. Same thing, pull off the backing, put on his head, and now you have dancing. He doesn't because of all that thickness there, but there you go. Little dancing guys. And then we're gonna flip that over. Let's go ahead and put on our Merry Christmas as well so that we can hide adhesive behind that as well. So I put foam on mine. I'm just gonna put it right there in between them. And now we're gonna flip it over, and I just glued my vellum straight down, no foam. So now, because their bodies dance, you don't want to put too much adhesive down here where their bodies are. So I'm just gonna, we can put it where their head is because it doesn't move. Maybe just a line. Oh, I found my little heart. There it is. And then we're just gonna center that on the bottom of the tag. Press that down. Let's go ahead and put our little heart down there. Cute. These were just, oh, these are the backing. Okay. I'm going to use my mono eraser. My hands are a little messy today. I'm just going to clean it up a little bit where I got some glue. I don't think I can clean up his face without pulling off color, but I'm going to try. Yeah, I'm going to leave that alone. Okay. So that is done. The last part to do is to put our twine through. So with these, two of your tags are going to have these little Christmas bells. And I'm just going to thread a bell on there. Let's try this in. That one's fraying a little bit. go. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to pull it to the center, like so, and then I'm going to tie a little knot. I'm just going to tie it once and pull it pretty snug, and then we're going to do that again, the other bell. And I have to trim this off a little bit. If you're having a hard time, just get in there with your tweezers and pull it through. That'll work. Oops. All right, and then we're going to tie it again to keep that bell close. Give it a good tug, and now we can go ahead and put this through I'm just going to put one end through, hold it up, and then we're going to tie both ends into a knot. And I'm just going to cut mine. They're a little frayed, but that's all right. And now you could even put some ribbon on that, or like, you know, put a little glue dot to put, you could tie another knot again on top so that it stays there and doesn't move. But there is your Merry Wishes Christmas tag. All right, our second tag, it's the most wonderful time of year, and this cute little gift card pouch. So let's get started on that one. And dump all the little pieces into there. So we're going to start with our tag and paper. So you're going to need, yeah, let's do that. So we're going to start with cutting that 1/4 inch off our tag. Going to add paper to our tag. So I'm going to flip it over, put this piece on top. And if you want, I think this time I'm going to go all the way over the edge, so I only have to cut one side. Okay, and then we're going to take our scissors, trim off the excess. And then this little piece is going to go at the bottom. So then you're going to have some excess to trim off as well. All right. So let's put that at the bottom. And then I'll just trim off the excess. Let's go ahead and punch my hole in the back as well, so I don't forget about that. Okay. And let's see, we have a red reinforcement circle. Put that on as well. Alright, so the base of our tag's ready to go. So let's go ahead and work on this piece. So it is a, this is a Lawn Fawn die, the stitched heart envelope, I believe. And so they may be hard to see, but there are score lines on there. So you're going to take them and fold them, reinforce those lines. And the way it folds up is like this, and then it's a little envelope, so sweet. But normally it's made, you can glue this portion down, and then when you open it, you can see the heart. But today, because I have my little gingerbread peeking out from behind, we didn't want to bend his arms, so we're going to glue it together and make an envelope. So what I'm going to do is, this is smaller than this, so that I don't glue my envelope shut. I'm just putting adhesive right here and right here. And then we're going to close it up. And that is going to hold our little envelope closed. Okay, maybe a little bit more in there on the edge. Do the same on this side. So you could certainly use score tape if you wanted to be a instant seal. Work a little bit better. Let's see if I have another pair of tweezers that can hold that together. Okay. And while I let that dry, let's, we have a couple things to do. We need to make our peppermints, make our gingerbread man, and fussy cut this sentiment. So this easy fussy cutting, it's all straight lines. So I'm just going to come in and do that quickly. Alright, so there's my little banner. That's going to go up here on foam. I'm going to go ahead and put the foam on the back so that part will be ready to go. Alright, so let's work on, I'm going to take this, I think that is good and sealed. Probably if I did that again, I would use score tape. But the cool thing I will say about this is when you do glue it together, you end up with two different slots. So there, you could cut a little piece of paper and tuck it in there and write a note inside. And then on the inside, there's another flap in there, and you can stick the gift card. Or maybe you could do 2 gift cards, or you could do some cash. So that's a fun little envelope to make. All right. We're going to cut this. I'm going to get a self-healing mat because it's easier than cutting on glass with this, what am I using? A craft knife. It just seems to work better. So what we want to do is go in, and I'm going to cut away the frosting, so the 4 lines of frosting and his mouth from this tan piece. So they are connected just by one little line, and I find it easiest to just push. I'm not even really like pulling. I'm just pushing my knife into where that cut is, and it just finishes the cut real nice and easy. And you can see I just did the mouth, and it comes right out, no problem. And it's nice and clean. So I'm going to repeat that on the frosting. All right. And this one on the top here is a little different. I'm not sure why they didn't finish it, but I'm just going to take my knife and just cut it straight across like that and pull it out. And so now we're going to glue that on top of that. I am going to add a little ink to him, brown him up a little bit. And then we're going to go ahead and glue him down. Now, if you'd rather for him to have white eyes, you could also cut out the eyes and the buttons and have every other thing be white. I tried to do that and I thought he looked kind of creepy with white eyes. I'm not sure why. So we're going to opt for brown eyes and we're just going to put some white highlights in them. Alright, so there he is, and also backing him with white is going to make him a little bit stronger because he is going to hang off the edge of this tag. And then while we have our mat out, we're going to do that same thing for the peppermint. So I'm not going to lie, the peppermint is tedious. If you would rather just go in with some markers or colored pencils and color in the stripes, you could certainly do that as well. Otherwise, you're just going to take your knife and finish those off on the edges, but they're also connected. So I'm going to go around and pull all the edges off the skinny stripes. I'm just going to pull my knife through and finish those cuts. Alright, I've done them all. And then what we need to do, I'll pull it up close. So there's thin, then I'm not on there. There's a thin and a thick. And right there you can see where it's not connected. I'm going to cut there and pull out that big chunk. So I'm just going to put my little knife in there and then pull out that chunk. And if I repeat that on every thick spot, then I'm going to have a nice little pinwheel that I can glue in. So I have pulled all those out, and that is the piece I end up with. And we are going to glue that down to this peppermint. And this is all part of the same die. This gingerbread comes with a peppermint, a lollipop, and a candy cane. It's a cute little set, but the way you either use markers or you're going to have to paper piece. So let's put some glue on there and get our peppermint candy done. So there's our peppermint candy. We have him done and we have our envelope done. So now we can finish putting together. So we're going to put this piece down so the flap opens this way. That way, if we had it open, it's going to bend his arms. So he's going to hang off a little bit, and that's okay. So it's about 1/4 of an inch from the left and about 1/2 an inch from the bottom. I'll put some adhesive on the back. Get that flap out. We're going to go ahead and put this on. That looks good to me. And then we're going to need some foam. I'm just going to use one strip first. What I'm going to do, I'm going to kind of put him on there where I want him. I like that. I have his leg down further than that. One thing I should have said is you should make sure there's room for your sentiment before you put that thing on, which I left room, so you should be fine. I'm going to put him like this. I'm going to flip him over. I'm going to grab a pencil. And then I'm just going to make a little line so I know where not to put foam. I don't want foam on the part that's hanging off. So that works. And where, you know, obviously where his hands are, you aren't going to want it either. So I'm going to put a good amount on there because I don't want him to rip off. All right, so I've got foam on the back. I'm going to peel off the backing. And then I'm going to put a little bit of wet glue on his hands so that sticks to the envelope. And you're definitely going to want to use some foam because of the thickness of the envelope. You're going to need to have him where he's kind of in front. So, and then he kind of stays level with it. Perfect. And I can't see my pencil lines. I thought if I could I would erase them, but I can't, so I'm okay with that. So let's go ahead. I'm going to put my sentiment on. And I kind of just have it up here to the side. You can put it over here too if you want. Might weight it down better. I'm actually going to put mine on this side for this one. And now you should have, this is a little Velcro circle that's been cut in half. So the first thing you're going to do is I'm going to put a little dot of glue just on the tip of that flap. And I'm going to put about half of my peppermint on there and hold. Okay, so that's going to be the seal. And then there's backing on each side. I'm going to pull the backing off of one side. Doesn't really matter unless you have a preference. If you want soft showing, it doesn't really matter. And I'm going to stick it to the exposed side, and then I'm going to pull off. Whoops, make sure that's on there first. I can use a little bit more glue. You're going to pull off that other backing piece, as there's two pieces there. And then we're going to close our flap. So now you've got your little seal, and when you pull it open, now it will stay closed without ripping up your envelope. So it could be kind of reusable, especially if you tuck in a note like that. I can tell you the measurements of this. This fits perfectly in there if you would want one. It's 3 1/4 by 2. So 3 1/4 by 2 will fit inside of there if you want to include a little note. And then your gift card will fit in there as well. So I'll pull this one. I have one here. And I can stick that in the front pocket. And that will keep it closed. Okay. Let's see. We need to add some white highlights to our little gingerbread man. So if you want, I did it on the other gingerbread. I thought I did on him. You can give him some little freckles, kind of cute. And then I'm just going to make some circles and then dot it next to it, kind of like little highlights. And that finishes his sweet little face. And then you should have some rhinestones that you may need to cut apart. I think they're kind of on a string, so you're going to need to cut them in half. And then I'm going to put those over his buttons. Maybe. It's got a lot of adhesive on it. Okay. There's one button. And 2. He is so cute. All right, the last finishing touch is going to be the twine. This time we're just going to put it in, pull it through, and tie a knot. And you could wait and not put these on there until you're ready to put them on a gift, and then you could tie it however you want to do it, but that finishes that tag. All right, we've got tag number 3 here. This is Season's Greetings from Us to You. So, dump it out. And we will start with our tag. Also on the back of your tag, you have your candy cane pieces with some press and seal, so you don't want to lose that. So let's go ahead and put adhesive on our tag. Oh, you know what I didn't do? Cut off cut off the 1/4 inch. So now it's all sticky, but that's all right. So cut off that 1/4 inch. Obviously you'll figure it out. You may figure it out when you go to put your paper on. A lot of times it'll fit on there, but then you're going to be, it's all about strategically placing that circle. You know, if it comes on the edge of your tag, then it's not going to cover it. So that's why we do it. Anyway, I'm going to go ahead and put this down. I'm going to try to match up 2 sides, so I only have to cut 1. Perfect. And we'll go ahead and trim that down. And let's punch the hole. Right, and then let me find my reinforcement circle. This one is light green on one side and red on the other, I believe. Yep. So there's that. Alright, and now you have a doily, and that is going to just get glued just like so. So I'm going to just, for now, put some glue in the center. And then I can go in and add it where I need it to the edges. Alright, so there's my doily. And we're going to cover most of that up so you won't see that adhesive, which is nice. So let's do our mug. So you have this green piece and the black. And I'm just going to glue the black snowflakes onto the coffee cup. There it is. Now you can have yours sticking up if you want. You can pull it all the way in. I have it where it's just covering that seam, so it's just barely sticking up, but it's up to you, however you want to do it. And we need to build up our cookies. So you should have 2 tan pieces, 2 white frostings, and then you have a green and a red circle. So these are going to go behind the frosting so that you get sprinkles. So I'm just going to go in, add adhesive, put that circle behind. And it may stick out somewhere, you may need to trim it down. It's not what actually came with the die, so if it bothers you, you just go in and trim where it's showing. And then we'll do the red. There's just this one little area that's showing. Okay. And then these pieces are going to go right on top of the cookie. You could ink the cookie if you wanted to. I didn't. So glue your frosting down. And one last thing, two things. We need to fussy cut our sentiment. And we need to put together our candy cane. So I did put them on press and seal to kind of keep them in order for you. They're not perfect, but at least you have an idea of where they're supposed to go. There are debossed areas that should help you. We've got 3 more. Alright, so there's a cute little candy cane. And we don't have to do anything to the greeting. So I'm going to go ahead and just cut along the red edge of my sentiment. Alright, so now we got everything cut. We're ready to put it together. So I'm just going to place, I have my red cookie in front and my green cookie in the back. You could switch it around if you want. Just like that. I'm actually going to bring back that little piece of press and seal and pick those things up together so that I can just glue them down. Let me see. I did pop up that front cookie, so I'm just going to put adhesive on the mug and the back cookie. And then perfect. And then I'm going to get some foam and put some on that cookie. This foam, the backing always wants to come off. Okay. I'm just going to flip that over. Put some foam on it. Remove the backing and flip it back down and it'll be right where I want it. Perfect. Press and seal comes in handy in the craft room. And then we have our greeting, which I'm also going to pop up, but I only need to pop it up. I don't need any there. So maybe something like that. Perfect. And the little candy cane is glued straight down and I kind of have it tucked under there. So I'll just put some glue on it. We have it right in there. And let's go ahead and put this down. Actually, I'm gonna use this as a guide and glue these first because I won't tuck in behind that foam. So I have a long one and a short one right in there. That looks good to me. I'm actually going to use that press and seal again. Oops. Make sure it's down first. piece is going to glue right in there. All right, let's remove the backing and put down our sentiment. I'm going to put a little bit on the edge there so it sticks to that cookie. And there we go. But to finish that card, you would go ahead and put your black twine through, tie a knot at the end, and that one is finished. All right, we've got our next tag. It is Have a Sweet Holiday. Use our little gingerbread man again because he is so cute. So let's go ahead and start with our tag. We're going to cut off that 1/4 inch. And we are going to glue the green paper. And get to the edge very good there. Alright, so there is that. Let's punch our hole and then we'll put in our reinforcement circle, which is green on the other side. Alright. And we are going to need to piece together all of our die cuts. So we're going to repeat those same steps that we did earlier, where we're going to cut away the mouth and the frosting and glue it on top of the white. Now for this gingerbread man, I wanted him to have another leg because I don't feel like his whole body could hide completely behind the candy cane. So I die cut it like upside down, and so we're going to do that same thing. We're going to cut out the frosting and then stick it on top of this little leg, and then his little leg is going to hide behind the candy cane and he'll look like a full gingerbread man. So let's go ahead and make those cuts. And then this candy cane is the same way. This is a candy cane that comes with a gingerbread man. So you're going to have to go in and cut the stripes away and glue them kind of like we did on that peppermint candy earlier. Alright, when I do this candy cane, so I don't lose track of what stripe goes where, I like to just kind of glue it as I go. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to just pull from the edges because I feel like that's the easiest way to follow the line. You can also use scissors, but I find sometimes with scissors I miss the mark and then you can tell. So I like to just get in there and follow the groove. And so I am going to start with, and it's up to you, however you can start with the next one in, however you want to do it. You just got to match up the stripes. So there's one, and then I don't need that one, then I won't get confused. So this is my next one, so I'm going to go right in where that line is and pull away from it so I get the natural and put glue down, put on my next piece, there we go, and then so this piece I'm not going to need. I don't need that one. I'm going to get this one. This mat is like curled and it's kind of driving me nuts. Let me see if I have a different one that's flat. This one's better. Okay. Okie doke, we have our candy cane made. And let's go ahead and put our gingerbread man together. So glue the tan down to the white. Do that same thing for his legs. Alright. And then you have a couple little pieces of candy. And then you should have, they may be stuck together. You should have the peppermint, the green peppermint. Goodness. Okay. So these get glued down to the little white candy. Just like so. And you could, like, if you didn't want, which I may do that. I think I just wasn't sure about them having the wrappers on them. I think I'll cut them off and then you guys can decide what you like. I think it's throwing me off that the, oh, I glued that on the wrong way. That's fine. Yeah, I'm just going to do that on these and then you can decide what you like. I don't think that I like that the wrapper is a different color. I don't hate it, I just don't love it. Alright, so we have all those pieces ready to go. And then the last bit is going to be these snowbanks. So we are going to cut a snowbank and then flip it over and have two. So I'm pretty much just going to cut it in half. This does not have to, if this makes you nervous, you can come in and like sketch it like that, or you can just go for it. So I'll follow my sketch. I'm going to have to come back in and erase my lines. So maybe you like that better, but there's no right or wrong. You can put as many bumps in it as you want. And then what I'm going to do is now you have two. Once you flip that over, you have two. And I'm going to do something like that. I think I want it to look a little different, so it's not so obvious that it's the exact same one. I'm going to cut a little bit more, and I'm going to glue those down. So let's glue this one first. I'm just going to put some on the bottoms for now because I do have my little guy tucked in behind, and you're probably going to have to trim off some excess there. So I'm going to put that one on, and then I can tuck this one in as well. So let's put some, just this one I'm not tucking anything, so I'm just going to glue the whole thing down. I just want to go down. Alright, so now we've got two little snowbanks. Trim off the excess. And now we're going to put in our candy cane, which is going to go about right here. And I'm going to go ahead and put glue on his hands and glue his hands to the candy cane. So we're going to start with that. And I want his legs down a little bit further. So there's that. And then this leg, let's go in and tuck it. about like that. I'm going to use that same piece of press and seal, and then we're going to come in here and just glue that piece to the back of the candy cane. I don't need that. So now it looks like he could stand straight up. I'm going to have him off to the side, and I tucked his one leg behind. Okay, so there's that. I'm going to go ahead. I did not pop him up. You could if you wanted to. I glued him straight down, so that's what I'm going to do. And I just want his leg behind there. And I want the bottom of the candy cane to not cover up. That looks good to me. Alright, and then you have these two little pieces of candy. You can tuck one behind if you can, which is what I did. And then I'm going to pop this one up. There. And now let's add some details to our gingerbread man. We're going to give him some freckles. And his little eyes, it can be looking wherever you want. And then I also put some highlights on the candy cane. Okay, finishing touch is going to be your two little gems in the center of your gingerbread man. So I like to use a craft knife. Maybe. There's one. Two. And that card, other than the twine, let me put in the twine. Almost forgot. There he is. Now he's finished. Ready for our next tag. I'm going to go ahead and dump everything in there. And we will start with trimming down our tag, putting our paper on. So let's trim that down. And we will put on our Santa paper. There it is. And then I think I know what it is when I cut the paper this way, because it's actual 6. See, and this is why we are trimming down our tags. So I'm going to trim that off so it matches, because you know the paper is 6 by 6, but you get that extra ½ inch at the top because of the hole in the pad. Anyway, let's trim off the excess. another hole. And this time we have a white reinforcement circle. That on. Perfect. All right. Let's go ahead and build up our frame. So you should have a green scrap of paper that is going to get glued to the back of the frame. And I popped up my frame. You don't have to if you don't want to, but I'm going to do that. So I'm going to put some foam strips. Alright, so I'm going to go ahead. I want the green to show. There we go. And then that is going to go right down here. So I'm going to go ahead and glue that down. Oops. Oh, I put my Santas on upside down. My tag's going to go this way. You might want to pay attention to that. It doesn't matter. It's just going to be like this instead. It's going to be fine. Alright, and then the little bake shop sign going to go right inside, and you should be able to see just a little bit of that green. I'm going to pull it down here so I can see straight down. Alright, there it is. And then we have a bunch of little die cuts here. So you should have 2 of these candies and 2 little red peppermint stripes. So let's glue those down. And on this piece here, there's 2. I cut mine apart to end up with 2 pieces. So I'm going to show you where I did that. So right in here where there's this big opening is a natural opening there. I'm going to trim right like so. So now you have this piece. And then this one, I'm going to go in and let's see. I'm going to trim off. So there's like a 2 triangles in there. I'm going to trim away these 2 pieces. So, and then I'm going to try to angle that little so it looks more like the top of a branch. And then I'll flip it over here. Cut all the way through. So then you end up with that branch. Okay, so I think because mine is awkward, I want to put the bulk. All that's not going to fit over there, so I'm going to flip mine over because I did it wrong. So you've got your heart, you've got a peppermint, you should have a bow. The bow goes on the heart. And there's 2 holly leaves, so the larger one comes in here, the littler one is over here. Let's see. And then this piece Alright, so let's see how I want to do this. Probably like that. I'm going to bring that press and seal back in and see if that works. It does. I'm going to glue it all down. I did pop up the peppermint, so I'm only putting glue on the 2 branches. And then, oh, and then it all pulled. You got to wait for it to dry, Rachel. Let's try it again. Okay. And then that piece gets popped over the top. Nope. I'm going to put that piece down there so it's level. And then I want it to stick up even higher, so like so. There we go. Now over here, so yours will be mirrored unless you want yours to face this way as well. So these 2 pieces are going to be like that. Then the heart. And the bow. And the candy. Okay, I like that. This didn't move. Let's just put that there. I'm going to glue the bow to the heart. I'm going to glue the heart to the frame, and then it's going to need a little foam on this side so it matches up with the frame. Okay, and then my little peppermint is going to go right there. Put that, and then another one. So I want it up higher. Put one right next to it. Perfect. All right, so that little tag is finished except for the jingle bells. So, and here is my twine. I'm going to do that same thing like we did before. So we're going to put the twine through, find the center, tie a knot, put it on again, or put it through the other. Tie another knot. There they are. This time I'll show you. I'm going to pull them tight, and I'm going to tie so they don't move. So this is probably the best way so they stay put. So tie it. I'm going to tie it twice, otherwise it likes to come undone. And then you can take these, tie a knot at the end. And now you still have the tag, but the jingle bells don't slide around like they are right here. All right, so that one is finished. Our next tag is We Whisk You a Merry Christmas. Love that. So cute. This one is also a gift card holder if you want it to be. I thought it would also be really cute to put, maybe you could find a small, I think like at Dollar Tree they sell little utensils, like a little whisk or a little spoon. I just never got there to grab one to show you, but I thought that'd be really cute to tuck inside and maybe wrap this around a cookie, cookie mix bag or something. Be a cute way to give a gift. Anyway, let's go ahead. We're going to start with, and then on the back you have your C and the dot for your I for Christmas. So you don't want to lose those. Put those in there. Let's cut off a 1/4 of an inch. And glue down our paper. So we will put adhesive. Oops. Alright, so turn our apron paper over and I'm going to lay down the tag. Let's punch our hole. Alright, for the bottom, because we're going to make it into a pocket, we are just going to add tape, and then I'm actually probably going to use a little double-sided adhesive. It's stronger. So I'm just going to put it on 2 sides and the bottom to create a pocket. And I am going to pull this in just a little bit because I know I'm going to have to trim some off. Alright, so let's remove backing. You could use wet glue here too, or your tape runner. But if I were going to try to tuck in something thicker, then I want something strong. So I'm going to put this at the bottom. Trim off the excess. Alright, and now we have our little pocket there. I'm going to take this fancy border and we're going to put it right on the edge so we can kind of see where the edge of our pocket is. So I'm just going to center it on there. Okay. Alright, and then I'll cut off the extra. Alright, it kind of mimics the border there. I didn't do a very good job of getting that matched up, but that's okay. Alright, so that part of our tag is ready. So now we need to work on our bowl and our whisk. So we are going to, we're going to do some paper piecing. So first I'm going to grab, I had ink, but I don't think I have it out here. So I'm going to grab a gray colored pencil. You could use a marker, you could use ink. And I'm just going to create a little shadow in my bowl so it looks a little more realistic. That's all I'm going to do. That right there. And then on this scrap here, we have stamped that same bowl. I am going to cut out the bowl right up to the black line. I don't want to cut inside, I'm going to cut outside of the black line. And then we're going to lay it right on top. Oh, actually, you don't want that part of the bowl. So I'm going to take that off as well. So you just want that portion of the bowl. And we are going to glue it onto that white die cut. And now it looks like we have a pretty poinsettia bowl. Super easy, we didn't have to color anything. Love that. And we're going to do that same thing to the handle of the whisk. Yes, it's very small. Yes, you could just color it with a colored pencil. I wanted it to match perfectly the color, so I am going to trim it as well. And they're all straight lines, so it's easy. A little blue inside the white. There it is. So there's our little bowl and our whisk. We need to put our Christmas on, so, ooh, I just about ripped it. It got stuck in there. Okay. It is delicate, so be gentle. This is a delicate die, so I'm going to use the glue on the hand trick for that. And we're just going to line it up. There's Christmas, and it is the tiniest dot on that eye. I want to see if I can grab it with my tweezers and just place it in there. And then the C. And be careful you don't rip it. There we go. Alright, there's the Christmas. We have, we never put on our, I use green. You could use the maroon too if you wanted, but I'm going to use the green again. Okay. Christmas goes at the bottom, and I have it popped up. I'm going to clean that off before it dries because then it hurts to get off. So I'm going to put, and I just have that centered. Well, it's a little bit slightly over, but I'm just going to put it at the bottom, making sure it's straight. There it is. And then the We Whisk You a Merry banner. I'm going to kind of tuck it behind there a little bit. The whole, you could have it hang off if you wanted and like cut the banner, but I have the whole thing on, so let's do that. And I have it slightly tucked behind that H and the C. I think it's straight. I need to look at it. Yes. And then the bowl is sitting right on top. whisk. I do have that popped up. And I just have it over here like so. So cute. All right, we just need to put the twine through there. All right, and that sweet little tag is finished. All right, on to our second to last tag. We are closing in, so I ran out of bags when I was packing this kit, so we are using Ziploc bags. So I'm just going to rip them apart because it was a perfect fit and it was hard to get in there. All right, so we're going to start with trimming down the tag. Oops. And we're going to put adhesive on it. And we want the black snowflakes to show. All right, and punch the hole. All right, now we have the Let It Snow, and I'm going to start up here and I'm just going to work my way down ever so slightly. That's it. Now we have a snowbank, so I'm going to glue that down. And it's probably cut a little long as well, so I need to trim the edges. Okay. Now let's build our cute little snowman. So you have the snowman and you have this little black oval. And so I am going to say, because I just remembering that I did not put this in your kit, I'm going to snip that much off of that because we need it for the back of the eye on our bird, but it's still going to cover what we need it to cover. Okay. So you may even want to put it in place and make sure, but I'm just a sliver, or you can leave his little, I'll show you how else that could work. I'm kind of remembering now when I was writing instructions, I thought you didn't put in the scrap, and I forgot, and they're all kitted, so too late now. But everybody has black cardstock, right? All right, so we're going to put that behind his face, and then we got his little nose. And you could have it going up to the side, however you want to do it. I'm just going to have it just like so. And then he's got some arms. Couple arms. So one of them is like so, and one of them is going to come out. So I'm going to bring him over and kind of place him where I want him. And then tuck an arm. Now, this arm, I need it to be long enough that my little bird is going to fit on there. So I'm going to kind of play with that. I want the bird to sit like so. I am going to grab my press and seal. You can you don't have to use that, but we do have it. So I'm going to pick it all up. And then I'm going to glue that little arm to the back. Okay, just like that. And I'm going to go ahead and put his whole body down and that little arm. And he is about right in here. I just want to make sure everything is contained on the tag. That should be good. This little arm. And then I am going to just pull this back like a hinge and put that Because the paper is black behind, I can actually get away with not putting that black paper behind. But, you know, should it land on a snowflake and you see the white, maybe it won't bother you at all. But this would be the time to go ahead and put that. I'll go ahead and do it. So let's put a little adhesive. And I don't need all of it, just a little bit of it. Let's go this way. Now he has black behind his eye, and I'm going to put a foam square on him. I wanted him popped up. So there he sits. He's so cute. And then we need to add his little wing. So you can add that with foam as well. It's almost too high with foam. So if you have some thin profile, or you could use a couple sheets of cardstock. I do have some thin. I used a full one on that, and it looks all right, but it is pretty big. So I'm just going to trim these down. But just using a couple little chunks of cardstock is a great way to use up your scraps and dimension. Alright, so there's his little wing. I'm going to line that up. Yeah, that looks better. That one's a little far away. Okay, and let's see, let's put his other arm on. And I have it down in here somewhere. I'm going to kind of use this. I don't want it to be completely lost. So these are going to go on. And his little arm is coming out from behind. So let's glue this arm on. And I want him still on the card. That looks good. And now we can go ahead and put his scarf on and together. So I'm going to put some glue right at the top of this with the fringes. Just kind of right in there. And it'll grab it. And I'm going to flip it over and glue the whole thing down. A lot of glue there. And you could pop it up as well if you wanted. I just glued it straight down. We need to put on our hole reinforcer. I used red. Alright, and then oh, we have a little heart. I forgot about that. He has a little heart on his chest. It's right there. Just a little dot of glue. Put that on. Alright, so that little snowman is finished. Let's put his twine in there. I did on my sample, I put some glitter along the snowbank and kind of around his body there if you want to add some bling. But it will be alright without it. So that one is finished. Alright, we've got one final tag to do. This one's going to go really quick. You do have some little hearts in there you don't want to lose, so dump those in there. We'll start trimming down our tag. Putting glue onto our tag. Trim off the excess. punch a hole. There it is. All right. Oh no, I forgot about you. That's okay, because that's okay. So we are going to put a line of glue at the bottom of our tag. I think originally I put it on the tag, but this will work because we have that. So we just want it hanging off the edge. Just like that. Trim off the excess. Very cute. And then you can put that either right up against it so you can see it if you want to see more. I actually think I'm going to do that. Here you can't see as much of it, or you could go to the edge of the tag and you'll just see the edge of it. I'm not sure. I like them both. So let's go ahead and put this down. I actually kind of like being able to see more of it. Okay, trim off that. Very cute. This piece is going to go up on foam after we put this down. I'm going to put a line of glue. We have a red strip here. And that is going to butt right up against the gingerbread paper. Trim off the excess. Alright, and then this goes up on foam. Alright, I've got the backing removed. We're just going to put this down onto the card base. Up, you can put it up high, you can put it down low, wherever it looks good to you. Call that good. And then we need to put on our reinforcement ring, which is white. And then you should have 3 hearts. I seem to be missing one. I don't know, I got a little crazy opening that. Maybe I flipped it somewhere. Okay. I have 2, which is fine. I'll just have to cut another one. Hopefully you have 3. They're kind of hard to find because they're light green on the back, so I could see if it flipped somewhere, and well, it's fine. All right, so you have a larger one and 2 smaller. So the larger one's going to come up here and sit right next to this, and then you're going to have one down here by the word season, and then you're going to have one up here by the word love, or up here. So the larger one there, and this little one's going to go down here, and then your third one would go right there. I'm going to have to go cut one. Actually, I might have extras somewhere. Where were the extras? Oh yeah, I have a little bag of extra goodies. Let's just grab one. And we're going to put it right there. Perfect. All right, let's put our twine through our tag. This one's super easy, and it might be one of my favorites, although I'm very partial to gingerbread men. All right, that does it for that tag. Well, that does it for this Christmas card. No, they're not cards. Christmas tag class. These were so fun to design and create. I hope you enjoyed them as well. They'll be so fun to tack onto a gift of some kind. I did want to add that there are 2 of these cards that we made as gift card holders. But if you wanted them to all be gift card holders, let's take this tag for instance. You have the remainder of your paper pad. You could certainly go find this plaid paper, cut it, cover the back, throw a pocket on there, and you'd be good to go. So they could all be gift card holders if you wanted them to be. But I just wanted to throw that in there because, I mean, they are large tags, but they're super fun. It'd be really fun to throw onto a gift. So thanks so much for watching. If you're interested in a kit, you can find us at FromMoments2Milestones.com and search for the Baking Spirits Bright tag class. Have a great holiday season, everyone.